Welcome to the Oaks Podcast. I'm your host, Travis Hall, alongside my wife and co-host, Ingrid.
On this podcast, we talk about all things real estate, entrepreneurship, business, faith, family, you name it, we talk about it, and how we do it all as an equally yoked husband and wife team.
We are glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this week's episode. What's up, and welcome to the Oaks Podcast. I am excited
Me
for
too.
today.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. We are back in Coeur d'Alene, and we're ready. Our board is filled out. We are ready to go. We just got back from Denver. We were there for a conference.
Yep.
It was fast and furious, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And shout out to grandparents who watch your children so that you and your spouse can go do things like this.
Very
Thank
much.
you, Nana.
Thank you, Nana. Yes. And we have your mom coming.
Yeah, she's coming
Gigi
out.
is coming out. Today's her birthday.
Right. And we're going to have our last ski meet of this season this weekend.
Right. The kids are excited, and they're really excited to sleep in on the weekends.
Yeah. And then Little League and soccer starts. Like, it is a turning of a season.
It is.
For sure. Feeling more like spring. We're getting up into the 60s.
Right.
So
It was like 70 in Denver when we were there.
it was wild. It was very windy,
It was super windy.
very sunny. Oh, amen.
We're driving down the road, and we're like, oh my God, this is so sunny.
I know.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It really was. But so what's today's episode is about is it's a fun recap because not everybody gets the opportunity to go to Squat Up Summit like we do.
And to hear from those incredible speakers.
Good. It is a real estate investment heavy conference of people that are, excited about real estate, a lot of creative finance, but we just got filled up because there was so much that we gleaned from it. We had speakers like Vic Keller, billionaire. We had Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins' business partner.
Yeah.
And I remember him from real estate, creative finance back in the day. Pace Morby, obviously, is, our mentor, and he spoke. We had Barry Baumgartner. She was
awesome.
Amazing. Her keynote kind of gave you this shot in the arm it was a shot in the arm from her. And then obviously the Lord's prompting was Ingrid joined Owners Club with me.
I know.
So she's officially my partner in Owners Club, which is amazing. It's a big commitment, and it's a big deal, and we're both very excited about it. We kind of took what we preach here on Yoked and about being yoked, and we decided that this was the year.
This was the next step.
We are yoked in Owners Club together.
Yeah. And honestly, there were some great speakers from the community. It's always really, really fun to hear about deals that are actually being done by people just like us. And they launched some really exciting technology and, framework and pathways and stuff for businesses where
so exciting.
You sit there sometimes and you just feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're turning things over in your head and you can't figure out how to do something. And it's really nice to have access to those tools, honestly, that just are going to accelerate like crazy.
So I think the goal of today's episode is to give you a shot in the arm as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything to do with real estate. It's just a shot in the arm of excitement, of just some key takeaways from these amazing things that we learned. So let's dive in.
Yeah. And I think overall, like for all the speakers, everybody spoke to something a little bit different, but every speaker in a different way talked about who you are, not just what you do.
Yes, they did.
And there was some very tactical breakouts and stuff like that, but for sure, the big headline speakers all talked about the importance of who you are.
They did.
So I loved that.
And it was a lot of mindset but very practical. We don't have to talk in detail about the breakout sessions where we have breakout sessions where you really go deep into certain topics.
Like a market segment. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is super helpful for us. And we love that. But we got a lot out of just the high level, go change your life.
Yeah.
Type of things.
So Vic Keller.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before, but he told again the importance of, when you're in business, like the three main things, which are character, competency and
Chemistry.
chemistry. And so when evaluating like a partnership or some kind of endeavor that you're getting ready to go on, like
Right.
hiring somebody, it's evaluating for those three things, not necessarily have they done this exact spreadsheet I need them to do, but are they competent enough to learn it?
Right. And he talks a lot about, so for reference, he is a billionaire and self-made. He has sold multiple businesses to Warren Buffett, and made like like 7-figure, no, more than that, 9-figure exits, which is just like mind blowing. And he is all about a durable business, building a durable, boring business, but a business that you as the owner can leave and the business functions without you.
Yeah.
And
he talks about like those three things that are the special sauce, but really talks about your business will only grow to a certain level if you don't have these things. Because these are like, if you don't have chemistry, your business will never be durable.
Right. Well, and I can't remember if it was him or if it was which one it was, but someone, I think it was Vic, he talks about, in talking about competency and chemistry specifically, he said, I would rather have a happy person that people like versus a really smart person that nobody likes.
Yes.
He's like, it does not matter how smart you are or if you can get the job done really well, like that's great. But if you rob from the chemistry of the group, the entire group's productivity goes down. And so I would rather you just be awesome and really likable and happy than just competent.
Yeah. Was he also the one that talked about like the $100 an hour and the $800 an hour?
Yes, that was so good.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. So in the entrepreneur world, and not just that, but a lot of if we feel this, it was like
for
heavy.
Sure, yeah.
He talks about how if you can't,
you're not going to be able to get 100%. Like you're not going to find somebody that cares more than you.
Right. So you might as well do it yourself.
So you might as well do it yourself.
And so he talks about this like conversation he had with his early on business partner. They had a small team of 10 people. Vic was just always the one like kind of micromanaging and doing it himself. And his partner's like, dude, like you got to stop. And he's like, yeah, but I wanted it right. So I got to do it myself.
And I give 100%. I give 120%.
Yeah. He said, how much percent do you actually give? He's like 110% all the time. And his partner's like, perfect. I know you do. That's amazing. He's like, how much do you think all of our stellar employees give? He's like, I don't know, like 80%. I'm trying to figure out how to get them to 110%.
Yeah, the top 10 employees.
And he's like, okay, let's do some simple math. 10 employees times 80%. They're giving 800% versus your 110%.
Yes.
And it was just like a boom. Like, it's so real. Like,
I know.
And it's mentally, it's so, you're like, I just want to do it myself because I know what I want. I know how to do it.
Yeah, but getting 80% of the way there through other people is what scaling is.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
we didn't put that in our notes.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Okay, Andrew Bustamante.
So
he's cool.
It's like
He's a
adult.
cool guy.
It was not. It was not kid friendly.
Yeah, if I had my kid in that audience, I'd be like, oh my.
But it was amazing in a very unique way. He runs a business coaching company called Everyday Spy because he is former CIA. His spouse is former CIA. He is bad to the bone. He talked about killing people. He talked about what you see in like James Bond.
Yeah. It's wild.
He's like, it's funny. Like you watch the movies and you're like, oh, okay. And then he talks about it firsthand.
And you're like, what?
And it hits different. You're like, wow.
And lots of like special forces stuff. But
he broke down some very practical sales advice.
Yeah. And it was called the art of sense making.
The art of sense making. And so obviously he has a course and talks about it, but it was a fascinating thinking about tying sales to the CIA working with spies.
Yeah, it was basically like the science of sales.
Yeah, and he's like, people always think like science is an art, it's a skill, it's learning the pitch. He's like, it is not. Yeah. It is a science, and that's why the CIA is so good at what they do because they've learned and developed the science. He's like, you think about what they're selling to their people that give them trade secrets, or you think about like he talked about being in Iraq or Afghanistan. He's like, you're convincing these people to be traitors to their country, which means death
For their whole
He
family
said oftentimes it means death for their whole family.
and
If they get caught,
generations.
like in that area of the world, they will eradicate the entire family line because you're a traitor. And he said that is a big sales pitch to
Yeah.
get somebody to do it for money, for freedom, for whatever it is. He's like, but it is a science.
Yeah.
And he broke it down into, what did he break it down to? Like,
Yeah. Engage through avoidance,
yes, avoidance,
exchange through competition, and then instruct through compliance.
right? But he breaks it down into real life, like
Yeah.
your typical sale. He's like, people naturally, everyone's avoidant. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no way, back up.
Yeah.
He's like, that's okay. You have to work through the stage of the funnel to get to the end. He's like, whatever the end is, if it's selling a Tupperware or if it's
Yeah.
selling, he's like, I don't need any Tupperware. He's like, and then the next phase is competition, where they are kind of like asking questions, but maybe they're one-upping, or they're like, I don't need
Yeah,
that. Or
trying to prove you wrong.
yeah, trying to prove you wrong.
Mhm.
He's like, that's good. You've moved them through avoidance into the competition. He's
And
like,
you got to keep pushing.
yeah, you got to keep pushing. He's like, you got to compete. And he said the last one is compliance. He's like, people will get all the way to compliance and forget that they're trying to make the sale.
Right.
They have to end just being compliant and actually move to, all right, now we can sign the contract.
Yeah. Well, and his sales techniques, I mean, Barry also talked about like sales techniques, which
Yeah.
was super cool. And they really complemented each other. And it was interesting. Like, I mean, she talked specifically about some people are like impulse buyers.
Yeah, emotional or logical.
Emotional buyers and logical buyers. And I could see that working in this framework of
For sure.
like how quickly, somebody might get there. But I have never thought of sales as a science. And so
Right.
it's super helpful.
Yeah, he was way more like detailed on like scientific, like
Yeah.
this, if this, then that with sales.
Mhm.
And she was very much more like what you'd think of as sales, but
Yeah.
they mirrored each other so well.
Yeah, they definitely worked
It was good.
together.
I mean, it was a goofy talk in some ways, but I really,
Well, and then like his whole intro video had him with like these big old long dreads, like
Right.
down like feet. And then he came out with like his head like totally not shaved, but I mean, I apparently did it backstage.
He did it
I was like,
backstage and
look
like
at this
chopped all his
guy.
hair off.
It's
I'm like,
this guy.
this is crazy. His challenge, are you trying to control the outcome or guide understanding?
Yeah.
And which is so good. It's like this idea of guiding through his little funnel,
Mhm.
through avoidance, and just guiding to the point of
Yeah.
like, hey, let's have a little bit of a competition where you understand, and then guiding toward compliance.
Yeah. And I was thinking about a specific instance when he was talking about this, and you're going to laugh, but you remember that couple that we met at our flip here at Diamond, and he's a GC and she's an agent,
Yes.
and they were giving us feedback on like things we should do and shouldn't do, and like really pressing on some of like the things that we had decided.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating because in the moment I'm like, I'm going to rise. And so I was like, let's go. Like, let's have a conversation about the structural component of this and what that actually means when you go on the MLS and this, and this. And like, they had me in that competition. I was literally thinking about this. They had me in that competition and I was going like this with her and I'm explaining myself and she's coming and I'm like, yeah, but this and this. And they just didn't press far enough. We might have hired them. They never got to the place of like, agreeing.
They frustrated the daylights out of me. I liked them. I liked them as people.
Yeah, but they were selling. That was their sales pitch.
It was the weirdest. We were meeting them. It was a tangent, but I love that you did this.
I know.
We were meeting them as contractors.
Yeah.
And they were telling us how to flip the house and what that we should do.
Sure. And out of like she was trying to bring something up that she didn't think we'd thought about. And so, but I was like comparing it to, okay, we were in this phase with them and they never got to compliance. And had they kept pushing, we might have hired them. Just because we're like, okay, we could work with you.
Right. I hadn't barely got out of the avoidance phase. But that's a good point. That's a funny example.
Think about the times, not necessarily that you've tried to sell to somebody, but like that you've been being sold to.
Oh, for sure.
And like that framework would have worked.
Right.
It's good.
It's so good. I love that. It does make you think about like all the times that you're like, yep, I was getting sold
Pretty
to.
sure I was being sold something.
And it worked well. And I
Yeah.
said, yes. I love it.
All right.
Let's talk about pace.
So good. I mean,
So
everything he
good.
talked about was great. And he oftentimes, switches between heartfelt, kind of segments and then really practical.
Well, and like real quick I know people, if you're listening to this, we've talked about Pace because he is my mentor and
Yep.
our mentor. He really is. And we're friends with Pace. We know him well. And that's why we're a part of this kind of sphere, is that we believe in it.
Yeah.
Not just him, but like the community that he's
It's
built,
the community.
that he's building. But for just quick frame of reference, Pace is the leading expert in all things real estate investing right now in today's world. Like
Yep.
he is. His community that we're a part of, we get to be a part of that and leading this whole entire industry. But it really is pretty profound.
And he's, on the cutting edge of a lot of technology and AI. And I love that, like, the lens it's being done through is collaboration.
Very much.
It is not being done through competition. Like,
No.
he certainly pitches an unfair advantage that our community has, but the community at large, it's definitely, you better collaborate. And if you don't, like,
Yeah, what are you doing?
yeah, what are you doing?
Like there's enough room to go around. Like we can go better together,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had one quote that
So
stuck
good.
with both of us very much. And if you have small ears in the car, tell them to earmuff real quick. Are we going to get one of those explicit things on our
They're fine.
podcast? But he said, hesitation is a cruel bitch. If you let her into the room, she will steal your future. And then he goes on to say, like, and invite her friends, decay, decline, and
Death.
dramatic. But
it's so
hesitation
real.
is a cruel bitch. If you let her in the room, she'll steal your future.
Well,
and I have said this quote to many people just in the days since we've been home.
It hit us both of like, hesitation is so normal in all things, but in business of like you second guess or you think, or I've heard Dean talk about this and we'll talk about Dean here soon, but he talks about hesitation is often wrapped into this idea of like, I'm preparing.
Yeah.
Preparedness.
Yep.
Let me just learn a little bit more. Let me, like, let me just update
Strategize.
this
Yeah.
and this. And it's like, no.
Yeah. And so I thought it would be good to talk about, like, for us specifically, and I think part of the reason it hit both of us so hard is because we've been hesitating. And we've been in a season of trying to figure out what this new cadence of business looks like out here.
For us.
But it is hesitation.
It is.
We've been doing the overthinking, the waiting for clarity, the we've got to figure out the strategy, and we haven't jumped yet.
Yes. Let me think about that for a second. No, it's so real. I mean, one of our goals, we had 2 goals going to Squat Up Summit. One was around the RV park, and 2 was to really focus on clarity for us.
Yep.
In our business, specifically out here. Like we just have a lot of irons in the fire, and that's not bad, but it's
hard to know which one to chase.
Hard to know which one to sprint aligned toward. And you can do multiple things, but I know for me, I was feeling like a rub of like, what is this what we want to do? It's been a little while, right? And yeah, I mean, it gave us both, like we came back, we debriefed and we pivoted, and we are pivoting right now. Like our board that we've dreamed up and what we're functioning and focusing on is changed, which is awesome. Without hesitation. It was like, we are doing this now today. And lead flow, looking at leads, and do we commit to the big thing? It's expensive. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people, I mean, there's different risk tolerances, like when it comes to this, but I think here is where the difference between, well, let me leave you with this quote, which is, speed isn't reckless. It's obedience when you already know. Like if you already know and you're not doing it, it's disobedience.
Right. It's so true. And I mean, Alex Hormozio talks about this kind of stuff a lot, who I like. And he wasn't there, but he talks a lot about being decisive.
Yeah.
He's like, the companies and the people that win are the first to make a decision.
And quite honestly, like, don't you want to know sooner if you screwed it up?
Yeah.
And you didn't, that wasn't the idea you should have done?
Right.
You have to fail. You're going to fail, period. So like the quicker you make a decision, the quicker you can fail and get to what will work. So I mean, we're done hesitating, babe.
That's right. Boom. I see it a lot, and I'm sure you do too, like in in our world, people like posting on social media. I feel it all the time. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to post something. I need to. I want to. I get feedback. People are like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Right?
Or like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And like, I glean a lot from it. Doing this,
Yeah.
but it's so easy to be like, "Oh, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
The video kind of stinks or whatever." And I think about, I was so mad here. It's been a while. This is last
Mhm.
year, but I like made this post, and like you're way faster at like creating something that the
Mhm.
cool content. But I made a post
Thanks.
and it like I worked on it for like an hour. I was like, okay, and then I'm using chat. I'm like, hey, okay, this is what this video is, and like this is what I want to convey, and like it really was this, and like just giving chat
Yeah.
like my heart of what the video was. I don't remember what it was now, but I remember doing it and figuring it all out and like copy. I was like, this is the perfect thing. This is perfect. I'm gonna
Yeah.
copy this and make this, and it's me, it's my voice, but it's like better for like the algorithm or whatever. I don't know. But I copy and paste it, and then I was so proud. And then I look and I'm like, oh my gosh, because it just pasted by Chat GPT and blah blah blah. Like I was like, my goodness. And I think it was a reel, and I felt like it's such an idiot. I was like, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even care. And then I saw somebody else who I follow that is like further ahead on content, and they did it too, like later. And I was like,
Oh,
see,
see?
it happens.
Yeah, hesitating. She is cruel
Yep. And that's where I think Pace has said this multiple times. He's like, imperfect action beats inaction
every time.
every time. And it's
Yep.
so real.
Mhm.
All right. So give us that quote one more time because it was so good.
Hesitation is a cruel bitch. If you let her into the room, she will steal your future.
Boom.
Boom. Don't hesitate, people.
Don't hesitate. All right. Dean. So good.
Good.
Dean Graziosi.
Yep.
So he's Pace's
wonderful.
mentor and good
Mhm.
friend. He is Tony Robbins' business partner. So
Mhm.
like the Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that guy.
It's so funny. I love Tony Robbins. I sat through one of Tony Robbins kind of masterminds here last 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So good. But Dean is equally powerful as Tony Robbins.
Yep.
Kind of like the wind beneath his wings a little
He's
bit.
a little bit more methodical.
He
I
is.
would say.
But he has
as a
been,
speaker.
he like kind of created creative finance, real estate, like education
And like
originally.
the guy doesn't need notes. Let me just
Oh.
touch on this. Delivery, the art of delivering a speech. There were many very polished, very wonderful speakers up on stage. Almost all of them looked at the teleprompter because you can see
Or
their eyes look
slides or
down,
something.
their slides. And Dean just like delivered.
He just gets up there and just speaks into, he's like,
Yes.
I've been thinking about this, like,
He's
and
got his little
boom.
sweater on.
He-
It was so good.
Freaking good looking dude too. He's like fit.
I
and,
know.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But he's so good. He was the most powerful for me overall.
Yep. I mean, he had some great stuff. He talked about urgency and confidence.
Yeah, confidence.
It was really good.
Avoidance.
Yeah.
But he walked us through this little series of like basically finding your why, the 7 whys. And it really was good of getting to the deep, dark areas of your life of like, why, what is the true root? And it was such a good exercise of like thinking through what are your goals and why are those your goals? They have to have this powerful vision of what it is. But he talked a lot about that hit home for us, which was speeding up your long-term goals.
And he said in the age of AI, like everyone's goals, you should cut in half right now. And that was like, whoa. Like just thinking about our goals, I'm like, okay, to cut that timeline in half, like feels like we would need to jam and we would not have a life and the kids would, like all these things. I'm like, yeah, but this is, and I'm like, but AI. And that is the reality, is that we're in this era right now with AI where it can cut your goals in half.
It can.
And
whether you want
like don't make an excuse that it can't. Which is what I started doing.
But part of it is not just fear, but it's like you need to cut it in half because it's going to steal from you.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so it's like if you have a big goal, like you need to double down, work on it. He talked about hesitation as well, and like they're so kind of interwoven. But he talked about eliminating that hesitation from your life. He tells this story. He didn't tell them this one. He told it in my last one that I saw him speak. But he talks about hesitation and how it relates to a football player. And you think about like a quarterback. A quarterback can't wait to throw the ball until the receiver is just wide open.
No.
It's sure that'll happen, but you have a plan, and when he throws that ball, he might be covered, but he's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wait to throw it every time, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's so real. He says that most people wait for their emotions to feel in the right spot to take action.
Yes.
He's like, and that's not how it works. Actions create the motion. And
Yep.
so, like, getting up to working out, like, you don't want to do it. Like, you wake up, you're like, I'm cozy in bed, but you feel amazing afterward. Nobody feels good when they first like throw the squat rack on. You're like, ah.
Well, and you reminded me of another kind of theme, which Pace introduced early on, which was the "Are you ready?" But then pretty much every speaker followed that thread, and that if like the only answer to "Are you ready?" is no, because you're not. And if you're gonna wait, like, yeah, someone else is gonna gobble you up.
Right. That's so true. So the thing is, are you ready? No, but we do it anyway.
But you do it anyway.
And it's so true.
I know. The other thing that Dean talked about that really hit was protecting your confidence.
Yeah.
And I had never heard this before, but he basically said, stop working on your weaknesses. Work on what you're
Right.
good at and get great at it.
Yep.
And I was like,
well, because so much in culture says like, well, like just keep practicing.
Yeah.
Work on you already have your strengths, work on your weaknesses. And he's like, that's just BS.
Yeah.
He's like, why? Yeah, sure. If you're starting out, you might have to do the books or you might have to do some operating stuff.
Sure.
But like once you get to the point that you can grow, he's like, focus on what you're good at. What do you breathe life into? What breathes
Yeah.
life into you? Stop doing the things that you're bad at or that drain you.
Yeah, he said stop, like eliminate what is draining your confidence. Like what is it that every time you walk away from that task, that project, that relationship, that
Yeah.
conversation with that person, that you're like, my life is drained. I feel empty.
Mhm.
Like, how do I even get back on track? It's like eliminate those things.
Well, and he talked about his inner relationships.
Oh yeah.
We talk about this a lot on this podcast about like the people
Yeah,
that
that was
you are
good.
close to. And he said, I've learned as I've got older that my inner circle has gotten smaller and smaller because of this.
And he said, I can't eliminate all of them. Some
Right.
of them you're born into, right? Some of them might be the closest biological people to you.
We talked about one of his best friends since childhood. And he said, love him to death. And I see him like twice a year. And I just know that he will suck the life out of me
And question everything.
and question everything. He's like a doomsdayer and like worried. He's like, so what I've learned as I've got older is that he loves like camping, or,
like the
adventuring.
memories of their
Yeah. And like
trips.
they just talk about that.
Yeah.
He's like, and that's okay. And he said, just learning to with those close relationships, like learning, like, is this one that I want to allow in, or does this relationship rob my confidence?
Yeah. And that was, it was so good.
It was so good.
Like I have been able to put like relationships on the back burner that do drain me. And yet I am the person that's like, yeah, but it can always be redeemed. And like, let me buy another ticket to that train, because I think maybe this time or we can change somebody. And I just said this to you the other day about somebody where I'm like, yeah, but don't you want to like show them like what a rich relationship could look like if they actually cared?
Mm-hmm.
And like, then it'll be great for our kids and it'll be great for this and that. And it's like, no, at some point, like you just eliminate what drains your confidence.
Because there's so many confidence draining things out there.
Yeah.
He talked about the news. He's like,
Yeah.
stop watching the news. Stop listening to the news. Give yourself 30 days without any news and see if you feel more confident.
Okay, we'll say though, plug for the pour over because it is 10 minutes of news from a bipartisan Christian perspective. And you can't just be a hermit with your head under the rock in this day and age. Like you need to know what's going on in the world. And so if you are going to listen to the news, listen to the pour over.
I agree. I mean,
3 days a
it.
week, 10 minutes, get the highlights.
That's the only news that
get
you
some
and I
prayers.
listen to.
Yep, absolutely.
I listened to it here an hour ago.
Me too.
Yeah. Anything else on Dean?
No, I
so
loved
good. Check
his.
Dean out.
Yeah.
Dean Graziosi. He's got great content. He's just motivational.
Yeah.
He really is. Private jet. He
That's also
rocks it.
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. He was all about, I will say one thing that was super cool about him is that he is all about his loved ones, his family.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like he flew out to go back to his son's tennis match.
He's like, I'm not missing.
He's like, I'm not missing it. Like, that's what I'm here for. It was super cool, super inspirational. All right, Barry
Yeah.
Baumgartner.
I loved her because she's the one that put on the event,
Yes.
which I thought was super cool that Pace would invite her to then speak into it because, I mean, she built that company. Like, it reminded me of like what's her name that invented Spanx?
Oh, yeah.
It's blanking me.
Brittany something?
No.
I don't
Anyways,
know. Spanx lady.
yeah. It reminded me of her story of like starting it in the basement and you're in New York and you're going to get it done and grind and just super like girl power, women entrepreneurship. Like, I loved it.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
thought
and it's cool is Pace didn't, because he's talked about this with Owners Club. Barry was going to retire from formal event planning like that she was doing. She coordinates like massive events
for like
not just her company, but she is the ringleader and like the biggest events you can think of. And she's incredible at it, top of the game. And Tay said that he met her at one of, I think, Grant Cardone's events, I think, and was like, wow, like, I need you. And she was kind of like, well, no, I'm not taking any more events on personally. And Pace convinced her to do Squad Up. I think she helped with it last year, and then this year she fully ran it. And not only just do it, but come be a keynote and speak at
I
it.
know, of course, Pace did. He's like, let me show you what it's like to be sold to.
Right, exactly.
But she did have a core idea of serve hard, sell easy. And this was another thread that some of the other speakers, you know, that were unique to the community had of like, if you truly believe in what you are selling or offering is not, people shouldn't need a lot of convincing, or basically like, don't work super hard at it because if it's a service to them.
Right. And she really camped on like believing and like belief in what you're selling.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you don't believe in what you're selling, like that's tough.
Yeah.
Like maybe you should switch.
Maybe you should probably sell something else.
She did she gave examples, like kind of role played a little bit of like confidence in how you are talking about it.
Sure.
Of like, are you being timid and kind of like, well, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm thinking about it. Or you're like, no, like I am convicted. This is an amazing thing and I'm going to do it. And I want you on board. I want your support.
And if you're truly like serving the buyer,
right,
because you believe it's going to solve a problem that they have in their business and their life, like then sales becomes really easy and natural.
Right. When she talked about like a no right now could easily lead to a yes later if someone's not ready. And like it's what does she call herself? She called herself in it was a onboarding consultant.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like onboarding with the product or whatever it is. She's like, I'm not just sales. Like it's not about selling to get to a yes. It's like creating a relationship for life. And sometimes like through the onboarding process, you realize like this is not for you right now. And that's okay. Like getting to that's okay. And maybe here's why. And like consulting them through that. But if that's the case, they'll become a customer later.
Yeah. It was so good. I loved that. And then the other big thing that I loved was the vision.
So good.
And
this is yoked.
Yeah, this was for sure a big. I wrote down a note right after this that said, "Can I get Travis to talk and pitch Yoked in OC?" And I wrote that note down, and then it was literally right after that in the next speaker where I was like, that's not his job, and it's because of what she said next, which was talking about the vision prescription like analogy for a spouse or a business partner. Like,
or
it
a business
was
partner.
so good. So it was this thought of you have a vision and you go to the doctor's office, right? And you're getting tested for your prescription. And so the prescription is what helps facilitate your vision, and you put it on and you're like, look, oh my gosh, I can see so good, right?
Yep. Here I could see my vision clear as day. I can see
my vision as clear as day. We're going. And then you come home and you share it with the spouse. And this is all in the context of the analogy. And you give them your glasses and they're like, I can't see it. Like, it's blurry. And you're like, what? Like, this is like clear
just
as
look
day.
through
This
it.
is so amazing. Just look through it. And it's like, no. And she said, you can't force your vision into somebody else. Like, they have a different prescription. And it was super just moving for me, honestly.
It was. I agree. And it's like learning how to communicate with your spouse or your partner on a shared vision. And like, let me help you educate on what you're looking through, what you're looking at.
Well, and that's where I would say, like, and this ties into Yoked, like you do need to be able to see the same vision, but with different prescriptions. Because when you have a visionary like you, and you're like, oh my gosh, this vision, clear as day, vivid, let's go, run, run, run. And then you have somebody who's more logistics minded saying, okay, but what about the risks? And what about our different roles? And what about the rhythm of our life? And then what happens to the kids? And how do we pay for this? And it's like, I can still see the vision. I need really different prescription to be able to see it than you do.
And if you have that, then the direction it makes sense.
Then you're yoked, baby.
Then you're yoked.
Oh, but that was very powerful. And you just,
good.
how do you walk in the same direction? Oh, loved it. Yeah.
It was powerful for us overall. Obviously, there were so many more things that we talked about, but.
And we got to see all of our homies.
We did.
And I got to meet more of Travis's homies, which was really fun.
Yeah, my OC homies.
Yeah.
It was fun. We meet a lot of new people.
Got to see the Denver team, walk some of our projects. I mean, really was a great work trip.
It was an incredible work trip. And next one's in May. It's going to be incredible. All right. So what do we have coming down the pipe as far as Yoked podcast goes?
Yeah. So next week is book club. I am loving this book.
I knew we would.
I know.
It's so good.
Remind me his name.
Morgan Housel.
Morgan Housel.
The Art of Spending Money.
Yeah, The Art of Spending Money. But I was like, dang it, what's that guy's name? And he has the same, if you're listening to it, it's the same reader that, it's not him, right?
No.
No, that read his first book.
Yeah, Psychology of Money.
The Psychology of Money. Also great. But again, we had picked this book because it was written relatively recently.
Came out last year in October, I think, of 2025.
It is so relevant. It's changing the way that I think about some of our spending. It's affirming things, and it's really helping, like, relationally with some of the ways that maybe I've judged how other people spend money.
Which is natural. You want to be like, well, why would you spend your money on that?
Yeah.
And the book talks about it. It's like,
it's
different lens, it's different prescription.
Yeah.
You know?
Highly recommend it. Definitely. Like, it's going to be a top book this year for sure.
Pace references this in his talk, and he's like, I learned in doing this for years and years, like, you can't, speaking as an investor, you can't put your brain in the seller's shoes.
Yes.
It's like, because you want to be like, what are you doing? And like, you can't put your lens in, you just can't. Like, it's their lens. They have their own, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, it's the same thing with the prescription.
But it's also the same thing even with sales, like in a broker role.
Yeah.
Like, there were a lot of clients that we can serve at a high level, but like, you really had to remove that prescription because you're sitting there thinking, why would you buy this? Like, this is, but it's because we have an investment lens in our brain.
Right.
And we're trying to like talk them out of like, you really shouldn't buy this. And they're in like, no, this is my house for life, brain.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love the white noise that the busy street provides. It's built in. But it is. It's like the different lens. But anyway, so yeah, next week we have book club.
Yep.
And then, and
we're going to ramp up some guests in Q2.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
We've wanted to, but it's been fun doing these, and we've gotten some good feedback on our Stronghold series, which was just awesome and powerful.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming up with Yoked as well. If you don't follow us on social media, I am at the Ingrid Hall. Travis is at the Travis Hall at all the socials. And then go and follow Yoked Co.
Yoked Co.
Yeah, because we're putting some cool stuff on there too.
And go check out our website. We just launched.
That's right.
www.yokedco.com. Got some cool tools that we're launching, and it's still in the baby stage, but we did not hesitate, and we launched, and we're going to fail forward.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe because that really helps the podcast as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Yoke Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we drop a new episode each week.